My name is Jen, and I'm giving myself a $3,000 budget to see how I can transform this room from a teenage boy's room to a beautiful guest space. I'm starting with a couple of pieces of thrifted furniture, and I have some other videos that tell you exactly how I went through refurnishing this dresser. It was a really fun process and a great way to start this project. It was easy, no stress, and didn't require stripping stain off of furniture. And that project only cost me $20. The piece of furniture was thrifted and a gift, and I only needed to purchase some furniture restorer and wax. And the first big portion of our budget is going towards hiring a painter and picking a wall color. This bright blue was picked by my teenage son many years ago, and he really loved it. But for a guest space, I want something that blends in with the ceiling a little bit more, is a little more calming and relaxing, and takes advantage of the bright window on the outside. And I have replaced these ceiling fixtures. There were some contract grade lighting fixtures here that were dark brass, and they really stuck out on this white ceiling, and I do not want to draw attention to this duct and the ceiling, so I just got white to blend in, something calming and simple. In total, all my lighting cost $500. I am going to hire an electrician to install sconces on the side of my bed. The fan is from Amazon, and the ceiling light is from West Elm, and it has a porcelain outer rim. I think it's really pretty. The next thing I need to do is to choose a room color. This was really tricky. Yes, this bedroom has oak trim, and I am not going to paint it. I know that's a popular thing to do, but it's in really good condition, and the baseboard at the bottom is actually really nice and thick, as well as the living room right outside of this bedroom all has wooden trim. So I'm going to keep it for now. I can always change it later, but I don't want to regret painting wood that's in excellent condition. I was stuck on this for a while, so to distract myself, I did work on this dresser project. You can see that it has these old wooden knobs. The dressers aren't lined with anything, so that's where I fixed everything up with a little bit of stain and a little bit of polish, as well as some drawer liners and some new hardware. That ate up a little bit of my budget at about $60 or so. This liner is really nice. It's not adhesive. And here are my paint samples. You can see that I'm choosing some light colors here. Natural linen and sea salt were two popular options that kept coming up on my research of what paint colors to go with wood trim. I've stuck them up on the walls, but I'm just not sure if they're going to work for me or not. So I continued back to my dresser project. I took all the drawers out. I washed everything down with a vinegar and water solution. You can watch my full video on this. I'll link it behind here so you could take a look at it. When I was finished, I just dried everything off completely, and then I took a Howard's product. This is a stain restorer. It's not actually a stain, but it just kind of evens out the tone, and you do need to make sure that you get a tone that is the exact match for your furniture. This dark oak was perfect for mine. I tested it in a small spot on the side first. All you do is wipe it on, let it sit, and then wipe off the excess when you're finished. I repeated this process one more time just to make sure everything was thoroughly coated and soaked in. And then I took this Howard Feed and Wax, which actually was my favorite product. This is a thick paste. It smells really nice and lemony, and I just rubbed that on the top of the drawers and all the surfaces of the dresser. It gave everything a really nice shine. It just kind of perked everything up. This is something that I'll reapply every once in a while. Then I took that liner and I just lined all of the drawers, and it's going to be a much more pleasant place to place clothes for my guests. I really like how it turned out. And then I bought this beautiful new French-inspired hardware. I got this off of Etsy. The knobs were about $50 and they fit perfectly on the dresser. I'm really pleased with how they worked in the end. Here's the dresser before I put all of the knobs on it. And you can see that it looks nice, bright, and refreshed. And here's the big reveal. I chose a white. I know that's a little boring to some people, but I am so pleased with how much more light is in this room. I'm thinking of this as a blank canvas. I'm only starting from this point. I can do anything to it. I'm thinking of adding wallpaper to this headboard wall. This color is Sherwin-Williams Shoji White, and I love it. It's so creamy, it's not a stark white, and it doesn't really cast a too yellow, it doesn't cast dusky. I'm so pleased with it. It looks great in the middle of the day, in the morning, and in the evening. I did keep my drapes. They're essentially the same color as the wall. You can see that I mounted my drapes quite high, and all the lighting is now installed. I have my sconces on either side of my bed. I have this lighting fixture that I installed earlier from West Elm with the porcelain outer feature. I have a warm bulb in here. And I have this white ceiling fan from Amazon. It does come with a remote, so you can turn the fan on and off. You can also control the light on here. You can change the color temperature as well. The entire bedding situation is going to be changing, but I am keeping this side table, which was thrifted many years ago. It's in great condition. I had these books, this little trinket dish, and an alarm clock. I love this alarm clock. You can actually dim the numbers, and it has a sunrise feature that can wake you up in the morning. I had this old textured vase, and I actually had an old olive tree that was kind of sparse. I wasn't going to use it anymore, so I cut off all the branches and I stuck it in this vase, and I'm really pleased with how it looks here. I made it arch to the side for a little bit of movement. And here are my sconces. I had the electrician install a light switch right underneath it. I love having a light switch right by the headboard. You can turn it on and off for easy reading. I chose lamps with a shade with the light that points down. This is a linen shade. It's really pleasant. I made sure that I measured from the floor. It's about 56 inches to the center of the sconce, and it's perfect for reading. You're not looking at a blaring bulb when you're sitting in bed. I currently have some old bedding and an old headboard on here, but that's all going to be changing. So with my original budget of $3,000, I'm currently $2,000 in. That included a painter at about $800, an electrician at about $250, plus all of the accessories for redoing this dresser, and then the lighting fixtures. I still have $1,000 more to play with, and I have to decide where that money is best going to be used. I'm really pleased with the upgrade of this dresser. The hardware looks really beautiful on it, and I think I'm finished with this little corner right here for now. My problem corner is this other side. You can see I have a big bare wall here, an ugly lamp, an old nursing chair that I do have to keep for the moment, but I did thrift this little side table. It's in rough condition, and I'm going to make a video on how I'm going to repair the chips, and I'm actually going to be painting this with a resin paint. I still haven't chosen a color, but in the end, I think this is going to be a beautiful little table. It's just the perfect size for placing a cup of coffee or my laptop and looking out the window. I am in the process of making a cottage garden right outside this window. Right now it has some plastic insulation, but that's going to be coming off soon, and I already have some hyacinth and tulips popping up out there, so it's going to be beautiful. These are the resin paint choices. I'm not sure which direction I want to go, but I'm thinking maybe a green or a putty color. I don't know exactly what color scheme I want in here, so it's hard to really commit to a color, but I am going to be choosing one soon and watch for a video on how to restore this little side table. I'm going to be focusing on bedding next, so here are two fabric samples from Pottery Barn. I'm going to be getting a beautiful new headboard. I think I'm just going to go with a plain oatmeal color like this. I'm going to change up the bedding so it's nice and bright, get rid of these pillows and change them out. And then I have to decide, should I do wallpaper or no?